Hello, welcome to the Weather Hazard Briefing presented by National Weather Service Pocatello for Sunday, June 29th. Here's what you'll see in this presentation. High pressure will begin to build strongly today into southern Idaho. It will bring about a warming trend through at least Tuesday and strong warming. The biggest difference will be on Monday. Humidity will start to dip below 15% in a number of locations, and that will spread through Tuesday. Also, with the high pressure, we had a lot of gusts to as much as 40 to 45 miles an hour yesterday. It'll be much calmer wind today, maybe gusting into the teens and maybe around 20 miles an hour at the most. Unstable moist air should start moving in on Tuesday from the south. This is what we call a monsoon push. It's actually remnants of the southwest United States monsoon. So it's leftover moisture, it's unstable air, and so that generally means thunderstorms. So there will be, at first, a slight chance of thunderstorms, mostly in the central Idaho mountains on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, there'll be a greater coverage of thunderstorms, and that will continue into Thursday, which is even greater percentage risk, and the same for Friday. So even the holiday will have a risk of thunderstorms in a number of areas. All right, here's a satellite image. Today, though, none of that. We're looking for mostly or clear skies today, and then maybe mostly clear tonight as some weak clouds show up in the higher altitudes. And again, widespread fog down here is what this blue cloudiness is. And here's our weather risk outlook. So nothing really going on today. By Monday, we'll start to see widespread relative humidities in the afternoon falling below 15% in these areas. Not so much the Wood River and Sawtooth areas, though. And then, as I said, Tuesday, the slight chance thunderstorms starts to move in, mostly in the central Idaho mountains here, and a little bit into the eastern highlands, maybe the western portions of it in Clark County. And then on Wednesday, slight chance to chance thunderstorm spreads everywhere but the Magic Valley and southern hills. And then on Thursday, it's pretty much everywhere. Some places getting a pretty good risk of thunderstorms where it gets in excess of 30%. But starting out today, high pressure will dominate. You can see there are some showers and thunderstorms in northern Utah, but they won't be pushing anywhere near this far. You can see this boundary sort of keeping it away. So the maximum wind gusts today, some teens, but really not much going on. Here are the temperatures for today. They were a little bit cooler yesterday, but we are starting a warming trend, about 1 to 3 degrees. And relative humidity starting to drop a little bit, but it's actually still pretty high. A lot of places staying above 20%. And then tonight, not quite as cool, and so recovery is not as good. And you can see some very dry air starting to move in here from Utah, and some of that dry air is getting into, you can see here some of the foothills in the central Idaho mountains. Here's what it will look like on Monday morning. You can see high pressure still in control, but you can see we are starting to get more instability and showers and thunderstorms, pretty much so just the southwest corner of the state. So it does eke a little bit into our area, but it's not by very much. Again, winds will continue to be light. Again, it's hard to find a gust that goes above 15 miles an hour. And here's the only place where the thunderstorms get to above 5% risk. So it's still really, that's essentially zero. And it's essentially zero for the rest here on, that should actually be Monday, not Tuesday. Here are the high temperatures on Monday. You can see a big rise. We're starting to see a lot of 90 degree plus in the Snake River Plain, eastern Magic Valley. You can see 101 in Glens Ferry. Even Stanley getting up to 87 degrees. And you can see all these relative humidities dropping below 15%, with the exception of, sort of the US 20 corridor here from, Ashton, Rexburg, IF, and until you get to Pocatello, where it's finally below 15%. And then Monday night, again, temperature staying very mild, and you can see the recovery is getting worse. A lot of places not even getting above 35% here, just east of Cary, for instance. Okay, then on day 3, you can see there's a line of low pressure, pretty good alignment, and then the high pressure here, also pretty good alignment. So the winds will be coming up out of the south, and you can see it's starting to bring showers and thunderstorms more into eastern Idaho, mostly central Idaho mountains. Goes a little bit further into the central Idaho mountains than this would lead you to believe. But you can see a good monsoon push here in Arizona and Utah. And so that risk actually gets to a slight chance risk in Lemhi County, most of Custer County, and even into the northern end of the Sawtooth. And even the southern end of the Sawtooth, there's some slight chance thunderstorms, but it's mostly 5 to 10, which would still kind of qualify as just really low risk. These would all be dry thunderstorms as well. I don't see any sort of accumulation that would lead to any sort of flash flooding or any sort of heavy rains. It would all be below 1/10 of an inch. And then here on Tuesday, a little bit gustier, a lot of 5 to 18 miles an hour probably here in the Snake River Plain, but elsewhere pretty light unless you're in a thunderstorm. And Tuesday continues to warm, even though we're starting to get clouds and thunderstorms. See 98 degrees in Twin Falls, 98 degrees in Pocatello. So we are considering, or we'll have to consider whether or not we'll have some sort of heat advisory out for this day, because we'll get the cloud cover, or it will not cool off as well on Tuesday night. You can see here, though, the relative humidity is starting to make a turn back. Very limited areas still getting below 15%. Most, especially in the mountains, we're getting, especially a lot more areas staying above 15%. And then the overnight lows starting to cool down a little bit here in the central Idaho mountains, but elsewhere staying pretty mild, and so recoveries where it stays pretty mild still are poor. So that's all I have. If you have any further questions, you can always contact us at this telephone number here in the bottom center. Check out the weather yourself at weather.gov/Pocatello. Thanks for watching.